Yes, guys, welcome back to the YouTube. Now, this is a question I've been getting asked a lot, so by popular demand, I'm going to be going over the skinny fat solution. What to do if you just don't have any muscle, but you've got a bit of a belly. Do you diet down? Do you build muscle? Where do you go? Do you recomp, bulk cut? Let's dive into it. So first things first, let's just break it down. What is skinny fat, okay? No muscle and a little bit of a pot belly. So you're kind of like, you're skinny and you feel like maybe you should go into a gaining phase, but you've already got the belly. And then you want to diet down, but you're so skinny through your arms and stuff, you just don't really know what to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. I've worked with hundreds of guys over the years, and I've kind of figured this one out. First things first, okay? Let's just talk about training. If you don't have any muscle on your body, you need to train like a savage. I can guarantee you, if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh yeah, he's talking to me, I'm a bit skinny fat. You train like a pussy, my friend. I'm sure you do. No disrespect. Take it, it comes from a place of love. You need to learn how to train harder, okay? It will solve all of your problems, whether you go into a bulk when you shouldn't do, whether you go into an extreme deficit when you shouldn't. If you learn how to train hard, you will build muscle, okay? So first things first, learn to train like a savage, okay? Now, I'm going to take a deep dive into training, but I just want to talk about food for a second, okay? I just wanted to get that one out there as rule number one, okay? We need to get out of this kind of like recomping. Do I want to build muscle, lose fat at the same time? Yes, it can be done, but you need to take a good look at yourself and say, right, I cannot go into a gaining phase, yeah, because you've got a belly. You cannot go into a surplus of calories where you're going to accumulate fat if you have too much fat. So you need to take yourself into a deficit, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking, but Max, I've got no muscle. You're going to put me into a deficit. I'm going to lose even more muscle. No, we're going to find your maintenance calories, calculator, Google, Max, age 31, 100 and something so pound. This is my activity, maintenance calories. We're going to sit between 10 and 15% under your maintenance calories, a super conservative number. If you're maintaining your weight at 2,500 calories, sit at 2,400 or 2,300. It's a very, very small amount of calories. Maintenance are just under. And what happens here is you have enough energy to train, you have sufficient protein, carbohydrates, and fats. If you're doing your macros right with a gram of protein per pound, 20% of calories from fats, and the rest from carbohydrates, okay, which is a pretty good starting place for most people. By doing this, you're going to be able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. You can have perfect macros, the perfect training split. If you train like a pussy, you will build no muscle, yeah? Just remember that. So decide, we do not tiptoe around this, okay? Stop trying to kind of build muscle and kind of lose fat and do it at the same time. You're trying to go that way, you're trying to go that way, and you kind of will just end up here. Make a commitment, right, fat loss phase, nail it, 8 to 12 weeks, boom, done. Lean gaining phase, 6 to 12 months. It's the only way you're going to get yourself out of this skinny fat hole, okay? So we take ourselves into that fat loss phase. It's a very, very, very small deficit. Do not slash your calories and starve yourself. You'll look even worse. We start with that small deficit. We then learn how to train hard. 3-day training plan, training your whole body 3 times a week, or a 4-day training plan, doing either an upper, lower split, training everything twice a week, or a push-pull legs upper split, training everything twice a week and legs once a week, okay? You should be training legs twice a week, so probably go for an upper, lower if you're skinny fat. I have all of these plans, everything already ready for you done, the movements, everything in my course, which you can get below for a super cheap rate for now. Anyway, you take yourself into a fat loss phase. That is rule number one when you're skinny fat, okay? You need to get yourself lean. Once we get ourselves lean, so we're now no longer skinny fat, we are just skinny, this is okay. You're now in the perfect position to go into a lengthy muscle building phase, which you so desperately need, yeah? If you would have taken yourself into a gaining phase from that skinny fat position, 3 months later, you won't be skinny fat, you'll be fat. Then what do you have to do? A 16-week cut anyway, yeah? Back at square one. Diet phase first, then into our lean gaining phase. I've done multiple videos on this, but whatever you finish your calories on in your dieting phase, you slowly build them up over time, because the goal in a lean gaining phase is to, hope this mic's on, it is to drive calories up over time, drive strength up over time, drive muscle up over time, whilst keeping body fat at bay. And you don't have any fat on you because you were smart, listened to me, and went into a fat loss phase at the start. Meaning you didn't have to do a 12-week bulk and then go into an 8-week cut. You could do a 1-year bulk and then do a 12-week cut and have way more muscle than before. Building muscle takes time. It is hard, it is slow, it is painful. Losing fat is easy. You can pull it off like that, increase your cardio, decrease calories, train hard, okay? When we talk about training, as a skinny fat guy, genetics are not on your side, okay? If they were, you wouldn't be watching this video when you thought, oh, skinny fat, and clicked on it. You obviously don't have great muscle building genetics like 99% of us, okay? When I say train hard, what you want to focus on, guys, is getting stronger at big compound lifts over time. I know, Max, you always repeat yourself. Yeah, because I've been doing this for 15 years and I know what I'm on about. And I've trained 600 guys and I've built loads of muscle and loads of people and got people shredded. How many people have you trained? To the person who goes, you always talked about compound lifts, and leaves me stupid comments. Yeah? Get great at these basic lifts: deadlifting, squatting, lunging, heavy pressing, heavy rows, heavy chin-ups, heavy dips, heavy overhead press. Get really good at those movements whilst driving calories up over time. Yeah? Whilst slowly driving body weight up over time, and you'll build a lot of muscle even in just 1 year. Okay? I just did a video on, I don't know if I've posted it while I'm filming this. I've either posted it or I'm about to post it, of a client of mine who had a 1-year transformation and built a shitload of muscle. And he was huge to begin with, not skinny fat, just straight up fat. Okay, but still, same rules apply. Train hard 3 to 4 days a week, get stronger at the basics, start from the leanest position possible. Okay, I literally have this conversation all the time where people will message me saying, I don't have enough muscle to cut. I don't have enough muscle to cut. I feel like I haven't got enough muscle, so I shouldn't cut, but I also don't want to bulk because I've got a bit of a stomach. Classic skinny fat. Cut first, because you're going to have to go into a lengthy gaining phase if you want to build any real muscle anyway, okay? And it's very important, guys, that you build routine and stick at it. A 9 to 12 month gaining phase is a long time. So you need to make sure you're cool with the training plan, you're enjoying it, you're recovering, and you're progressing, okay? And again, like if you go into that fat loss phase, like I said, and you end up at 1800 calories, and then your first move from cut to bulk is from 1800 to 2800, and you give yourself 1,000 extra calories on day one, you're going to accumulate a lot of fat very quickly because you've taken yourself from poverty calories into a huge surplus of calories. It's too much for the body to get all at once. 1,000 extra calories, 7,000 extra calories a week. Let's store this for a rainy day and get fat as fuck. No. 1,800 calories to 2,000, 2,000 to 2,200, 22 to 24, 24 to 26, then 28, then 3,000. That should take months. By doing that, you've had steady energy, great training, great pumps, great progress in the gym, good amount of muscle coming on with minimal fat gain. Yeah, and you've given yourself a long route and you can keep going. And then when you do decide to go into that fat loss phase, because you have minimal body fat that's accumulated over those 6 months, you might only need a 4 to 6 to 8 week fat loss phase to get yourself nice and lean again before you can go into a second push-up. Yeah? If you go from 1,800 calories to 2,800 calories, 12 months into your gaining phase, you've gained 15 kilos, but you've gained 12 kilos of fat, and you've got a huge dieting phase ahead of you, and you will lose all that muscle. Hear me out, brother. Hear me out. Trust me. A lot of people as well, once they get down to that skinny phase where they've taken themselves through that fat loss phase, is they think you've just got to drive protein really high because we think more protein means more muscle. More protein means being more full, meaning you're probably not going to be able to eat your calories. This is why we drive protein up in a fat loss phase, because it keeps us satiated and it helps retain muscle. Once you go into your gaining phase, that protein intake comes down a little bit from that fat loss phase, and we drive carbohydrates up. That's our primary macronutrient that we drive up over time. My gaining phases, I don't do them anymore because I'm happy where I am. I was doing 600-700 grams of carbohydrates a day, 70-80 grams of fat, 200 grams of protein. I wasn't doing 300 grams of protein because I want to get big. No, my protein came down to allow for my appetite to come up. Carbohydrates are protein sparing. I was able to drive 4,500 calories a day. A lot of that from carbohydrates to build muscle. Yeah. So understand this. Let me just break this down. If you are skinny fat now, it doesn't mean you've necessarily got terrible genetics. Maybe you just haven't trained properly. Like look at Sal, my client, look at his terrible genetics that I showed in the video before. It's 110 kilos. Suddenly when we got him down to 70, actually got to about 68 kilos, I looked at him and thought, hold on, you've got unbelievable genetics to build muscle. You just never trained before, okay? So don't rule yourself out and think you're doomed forever just because you look like shit now. Take yourself through that fat loss phase. Get it done and out of the way. Don't beat around the bush and tiptoe. Once you've done that fat loss phase, take yourself into a slow gaining phase by driving calories up over time with the goal of staying as lean as possible, okay? Focus on getting stronger at the basics. Honestly, you only need to do those 6 to 8. I've done a video that the only lifts you need to there's only between 6 and 8 exercises that are going to build 90% of your physique. The curls, the tricep push downs, the rear delt flies, and leg extensions are just the icing on the cake. Big quads are built from heavy squats, heavy lunges, heavy leg presses maybe, not from doing 4-second eccentrics on a leg extensions for 15 reps. Stick to the basics, yeah? Understand that building muscle is a slow process. So because of that, because we need to spend a long time in a surplus of calories and a long time in a gaining phase, it's very important that we give ourselves that runway, yeah? And we can only do it if we're lean. So you've got to pull yourself down into a fat loss phase first. If you need help on this stuff and you feel stuck, I've made a course just for guys like you. How to build muscle, how to lose body fat, how to perform these movements, how to reverse diet, how to build your metabolism, how to stay shredded all the time, how to actually bulk properly, how to not get fat when you bulk, how to put it all together. I put everything into a course. The link is below. If not, I'm really enjoying making these videos. Help me grow this channel. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Posting 1 video a day. See you in the next one.